Good morning, everyone. It's Paul from New Nature Landscaping, and I'm here with
Shaun from New Nature Landscaping.
And we're here today in Waterdown at Connon Nurseries, and we're going to talk to you guys about selecting, spacing, and layering plant material. Okay, Shaun, so when we're selecting plant material, what are we looking for?
Well, in my opinion, Paul, and our opinion here at New Nature, when we come to pick out our plant material, we like to make sure that we're grabbing the fullest plant possible so that the client sees the full picture right when we get to site. For example, out of these two here, we got a couple stems on this grass here, and this one's a lot more full. So this would be our first choice when picking for our clients. So Paul, when designing and planning your bed, what are you considering when selecting and layering your plant material?
It's a good question, and it's something we don't want to just rush by. First, maturity height and width. If we take a look at the Hills U, this is a layout that we use quite often. If we take a look at the Hills U, the Annabelle hydrangea, and the Green Mountain boxwood. Full grown maturity, we want to see these guys go about 4 feet or so clipped. I want this to be an evergreen hedge if we consider a house here. The next option is considering where is going to be our flowering or herbaceous shrub, or we could put a perennial. Lavenders or peonies are some that we use often. I want to consider the boxwood clipped as well to be our low or our border plant. So if we have garden edge, sod, we want to go from 1 foot, 2 foot, 3 foot. That's not a perfect formula, but the idea is we layer low, medium, high. This is the running portion of the planting bed. We want to consider an anchor, whether it be a house, a structure, a rock, a tree, a water feature. We want to consider what reason is it that we stop this planting border, and what reason do we now stop the layering effect. So consider the maturity, what height they're going to grow to, and then layer them according to what their maturity height will be. That way we can clip, allow it to grow, and we can continue to see a layered effect in the garden.
When considering the spacing of the plants, there's a couple of options because every property is different. The beauty of Connons is on every single tag, it tells you the full height and width of the plant material at full maturity. But when doing different properties, like this one here, we have the staging effect. What we like to do for our plant material and the best possible outcome is to put the plants just touching for that hedging look. That way it's not going to take a long time for the plants to grow together, and you're going to get faster results with the look that you're going for.
So as we're considering finishing up this planting bed, we've talked about layering and spacing. One of the things I want to consider just before we put in the mulch or the triple mix, depending on the desired finish of the planting bed, is clipping of the evergreen hedging. So we want to consider rotating depending on the actual habit of the individual shrubs, and we will just make a light trim to encourage that square layered look in this application. Same instance here with the Hills U. There'll be a couple that we will just clip down to continue the layered effect. Okay, so when we consider perennials, there's a few different things we want to think about. You hear us always talking about textures. So I've laid out a few things. I have some grasses here, which are going to be my tall portion of my planting border, which is more of a fine texture. Then I have some hostas, which have much more of a coarse or larger, smoother texture. So I'm going to consider that my middle, and then I have some small lavender here. Again, that's kind of our medium texture, but I'm being respectful of our layering, our spacing, and also being thoughtful in terms of that we're not going to be spacing things many feet apart to not be able to achieve our desired look. Like Shaun said, it costs a little bit more money up front, but the look, once we're complete, you put the mulch around or the triple mix. Once complete, it's a full satisfying look, layered look, well thought out, and that's how you can achieve a garden that looks like it's been taken care of right from day one.
Last but not least, we want to thank every employee at Connon Nurseries for the helpfulness, the smiles, the gratitude, and especially getting us our orders on time for the clients. I want to thank Terry Vanderkrook for all that he has done for Connon Nurseries over the years, and they have 3 locations that you can visit to pick out or show your clients plant material. It's worth the drive and it's worth the money. We'll see you next time on our Quick Tips.